Hello and welcome back to Wireman's Whimsy. As promised, we are going to work with the Country Birdhouse stamp set and dies to create this card that I showed you in the introductory video. So this one, there's quite a lot to it. So I've done a lot of the cutting out already. And I used one of the Stylish Shapes dies to cut out the happy birthday, but I've got all the individual pieces here ready to go. I've already cut out and colored in the extra pieces that are going to go on. And for the gingerbread piece here, I used the stamp, this one here, to do those little, make it look like it's cutouts on there. So I am using the Meandering Meadows DSP, both for the background and for the birdhouse. There is, as part of the suite, there is paper that has a good wood grain to it and that. I just don't have that yet. So I'm going to use the stamp and I'm going to stamp right on my paper and it will fit in like that. And I'm using the Pecan Pie, which is one of the colors in the DSP, to ink this up. Make sure I've got good coverage. And then I'm just going to stamp it down like that, and we'll close this up, move it out of the way. There. So we've got our image stamped down. I'm going to die cut it out, and then we'll build the card. So I'm just going to line this up like so. Put on a sticky note, put a couple of them on just to hold that die in place so it doesn't shift. One thing that would also be good with this is using the Timber 3D embossing folder. Not going to do that this time, but something to think about as we move through the week of videos. And I'm going to cut this out. Okay, we'll run that through, and it's going to make a bunk at the end because the end of that birdhouse is flat. There we go. Oh, not too bad. Not too bad at all. So let's just take this out. We'll put that over there. Sorry, I just hit the arm for the camera. All right. So what we've got is we've got our birdhouse, and I need another piece, and it needs to be 5 1/4 by 4. So we're going to cut this down, and so we'll cut it down to 5 1/4. Oops. Yes, sorry, it needs to be 4 this way. I am with the program now, and then 5 1/4 this way. There we go. And I did this one on a Petal Pink card base. So I'm going to do this one on a Petal Pink card base as well. And I'm just going to score this at 4 1/4. There we go. Slide my blade out of the way so I don't actually cut it at 4 1/4. And then we'll fold it over. And these are steps I don't often show in the video. I just pre-cut everything, but I thought I would do some of it in the video because not everybody watching the videos is as experienced as other people. So we've got some beginners watching, and I appreciate you all. So we're just going to flat mount this, and then we will build the house. This is gorgeous paper. This is the Meandering Meadows paper. So we're just going to flat mount this. Again, lining it up so we've got equal distance at the top, side, and bottom, which means when we drop it down, we will also have equal distance there. Now, I flat mounted the, birdhouse. Just towards the top-ish and in the middle. So we've got this like this. And next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of line this up just a little bit overlapped like that, and just use my fingernail to kind of mark where I need to trim that off, because the card is shorter than the whole piece. So then I can take this and I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back, and I'm putting this down first for a reason. It's going to just overlap just a little bit, and what that does is when I put this piece on, which is this piece, it will kind of hold those pieces down. Now I've got a little bit of overlay there, so we're going to put this on next and just line it up, pop it down. So there we go, like that. Okay, now we need to build the kind of the roof piece itself. And what we're going to do is we're going to put the roof on, and I'm just going to run some adhesive along here like this. And then I'm just going to make sure that I've got all of those edges of adhesive just folded in on themselves, just so there's no shiny pieces that show on each side of the thing. And this is the Stampin' Seal refill. It's the more, it's the Refill Plus. So it's a little bit stickier than the regular. And I'm going to pop that down so that it matches, and then I'm going to give it a push. So there we go. And if there's anything over, you can just use your finger, or you can use your eraser. Now for these pieces, these two small pieces, I actually made them into stickers by using the adhesive sheets, which is a way easier way to manage these pieces. So again, I'm going to start at one end, knock it right up against the edge there. There we go. And now I'll take this fine piece and put it in. And for this one, I really let the colors in the Designer Series paper guide my color choices in the card itself. So there we go. I'm just a little bit off. There we are. Okay, so what we've got next are the birdhouse, the opening, and then the peg. So I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive on each side of this. When you cut it out, it does come, like it cuts out the circle as well in the middle. But I'm not going to worry too much about that because I'll be covering it up with the bird on this one. And then this one, I used an adhesive dot on the back. You could use glue, whatever you like. And then I'm just going to pick that up with my piercing tool and pop it down in the right place. So there we go. Now for the birds, I've colored them slightly differently for this, and I prefer these birds, but it is what it is. What I did is I trimmed off the white on the base just right up against his feet, and then flat mounted so that it sits right on top of the base of the birdhouse, like that. There's not that white space. And this one, I just trimmed the feet off altogether and kind of trimmed up around at a bit of an angle like that, so it looks like the bird is actually sitting on the peg. So, and that is flat mounted as well. And we just pop the bird down like that. There we go. And then I've got my flowers. I've done these in light soft sea foam, and then dark and light petal pink, and then the orange that I used for the bird's beak and feet and the center of the flowers is light Cajun craze. So I put the flowers down as flat mount like this, one kind of like this, and then one at the top. And as I say, I let the colors in the designer series paper kind of guide what colors I was using for the flowers. So a little bit off book for what I normally use. I would normally use much more vibrant, much brighter colors. And the videos through the week will kind of show that. But for this one, I like the colors in the designer series paper. I think they're nice. I really like this as a sky background. So we're just going to peel the backings off of these and put the flowers down. And then we'll put the greeting on. Again, the greeting is the happy birthday from the stamp set. So we're just going to dimensionalize this kind of like that at the top. And then this one we will also dimensionalize. And there we go. Put this one's going to go down here. And then the greeting is going across the bottom. So this is going over like this. And then we'll dimensionalize the greeting with the larger dimensionals and pop it down. So this is going to come down here and it's going to line up in the middle. There we go. So there is our finished card using the new Country Birdhouse Bundle along with the Meandering Meadows designer series paper. So thank you so much for watching, and let's create together again soon.